Here's what we're making today. 3 little pockets, one with a see-through and no die cuts. Kia ora e te whānau, welcome back. If you're new here, this is a series where we make an entire journal from beginning to end, including the cover and sewing in the signatures and everything. These are just some of the things that we have made already during the series. You can jump in at any point. You don't have to start at number 1. You can pick and choose the pages that you want to make. You can by all means use your own stash as well, and just take the ideas from the tutorial to make something for your own journal. If you are interested in making one like this, there is a digital collection, and there's a video in the description below this video you can take a look at if you're interested in that. But otherwise, just come in, get cozy, and we will make this page. Okay, let's get started. I've got some 240 GSM here, and I have already made these 2 templates. So I'm going to show you. You might have a die cut that you can use, that's fine too, but I'm going to show you how to make this template hopefully quickly. So I'll be working in centimeters, but these are the inches that we're going to be working with. I'll just hold that so that you can write them down if you need to. These and that. So I want this measurement first, and I'm just going to cut probably this way, Sara-Lee, so that you can have some left over that's actually usable. So need to come down halfway here. Then I am going to fold that guy in half. Yes, feel free to score it if it makes you feel better. And then I'm just going to decide, before I cut anything else, I only want the difference from here to here to be about 1.5 centimeters, but you can make it as shallow or as high as you want. So that means I want to start there by going straight. Then I want to come up quite sharply and have a nice curve there. And that's just my guideline. I'm going to try and let my scissors do the rest. Then I'm just going to, you do need to make sure that this line is 90 degrees to there if you can. And there we have it. So then what I do is I come down this measurement. It'd be great if I was using the mat that had the side with the 0.5 on it, but that's alright. And then to make the second piece, you can either use the folded piece that you've got, or you can just grab it, the other piece. Just want to put that back on there. Trace that shape with a pen so that you can cut it off, and it's exactly the same. And then based on those measurements, I just want to come in here and chop off 0.5. I guess that's about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little bit more. So if you're working in inches, I'd just go an eighth and an eighth and then a quarter along the bottom. So now I've come in there and I'll just quickly cut that off. And yes, feel free to chop that so that you don't have to do what I just did. So now, ideally, we want, see how this has got 1 centimetre off it? That's because we don't want to have to take it off the shape. Taking 0.5 off there, 0.5 off there. We want 0.5 off here and 0.5 off there, so it's got a nice border. But since we've just cut our shape, we're just going to take 1 centimetre off the bottom instead. And then you should have 2 little pieces that sit nicely on each other. It's very hard to see in this light. My apologies, I'm doing this at night. Got a little bit caught up during the day. Hopefully it's not too bad and you could see what was going on. Now, you can use any 3 for the middle part. You can use any 3 papers that you like that just coordinate nicely with the journal that you're working on. If you've got the Come Make With Me, I have been creating some patterned papers and I have put those in the folder. I think I'm going to use these ones. So we'll just put the large one to one side at the moment. And then we're just going to trace around and cut them out. This is why I did it on the back, because my tracing skills around a template aren't fantastic. So what I will probably do is cut through here first so that I can line them up nicely along the bottom. So now that I've got that cut edge, again I can just line him up. Okay, so I am just going to go and trace one of those, and then I'm going to cut all 3 of them out. Okay, now for the larger ones, I'm just going to use this brown manila folder. So I have just traced and I'll cut those out and I'll come back and I am going to ink all these pieces as well. So now we've just got to decide which one we want the little window in. Now it definitely can't be that one because I don't want these 2 right next to each other. And I don't want it too busy either. So yeah, I might leave that one. I might do this one. So we'll just put those 2 aside for a second. Okay, now these are only for decoration. They do not serve any purpose. They just look like they do. So what we're going to do is, I've just got some eyelets. Better do myself a favour and set that so that they're at least all the same. And helps if you use the right size hole, Sara-Lee. How's that? Probably a bit close to the edge. So I will do one and then I'll go away and do the other one so that you don't have to sit there watching me faff. And we're just going to pop that guy through there. Ideally maybe a smaller eyelet would have been better, but this is what I got out. Sometimes I just turn it over and do it the other way as well. It just flattens it a little bit more sometimes. And that guy in there. This is where we need to decide, do I want to put little pieces of lace through the side. I still haven't decided that yet. You'll know because you would have seen the finished product at the beginning. And then literally all you're going to do is glue that and stick it to that piece there, trying to make sure that you've got a nice even border around the outside. So I had a little play. That would be with the lace, that would be with just some black string to maybe give it a contrast. But I don't think I'm going to, because that would have to be, I feel like that's too heavy to have all three of them. And that would have black thread all the way up and all the way down, and they'd be overlapping. So I'm not going to put anything in there. You can absolutely make that decision for yourself. I'm just going to leave these ones plain, and I might end up putting a little label or something on each of the pockets. So just, now that I have decided, I'm just going to go put eyelets in these two, and I'll come back with them glued on. Those two done, and now, and if you wanted to, you could have punched a hole through there and put it through the whole thing. I didn't want to. This was how the thought process went. So this guy here we need to cut. And I do want to make the window the same shape. I do need to make sure that I've got enough room left up there for gluing. So it's only going to be a small window, but that's all right. So I've made that at about 1.5 centimeters. Maybe it's just over. I'm just trying to make it that same or similar width. I'm not going to be too fussy. Not everything has to be by measurements. You could just do a square window too. It doesn't have to have any shape to it at all. I need the same size border on the bottom. And then I just need to cut that out. Okay, now this is flimsy, but I think we'll be okay. So now I just want to line this up so that it is where I would be placing it. And I'm going to, because I only copied those onto matte photo paper, and I think that's only about 180. And this one I'm just going to cut slightly larger so that I can make sure that it's not seen behind that window. So what I mean is, I'm going to cut about here. So the window on this one is going to be a little bit larger. It's just going to make it easier for us to line them up and not have to worry about seeing this inside edge through the back of the lace. So now when that one goes on top, you can slide it around a bit and we don't have to worry about that. So I'm just going to ink the inside edge of here. So then it's just a matter of playing around with what lace you want to put in. whether you want something like that, or I actually preferred this when it was doubled up. It just gave it a little bit more. Didn't want it completely see-through. So I think I'm going to go with this guy. Now this piece that we cut out of there, just taped him back up again so that I can use him to cut out my piece of lace. And I will give it a little bit more of a border again, just so that I've got a little bit to make sure I've got to glue, and I can always fix that up if I need to. So I'm just going to check the back, make sure that that flower, because I've made life difficult for myself, is reasonably centered. Then I'm just going to do a rough chop first. And check if it fits so that it can't be seen. Yep. I'm just going to use either use your Fabri-Tac or a fabric that's right for glue, obviously. A glue that's right for fabric, Sara-Lee. And then I'm just going to glue this edge here. And the paper that's left over on this one. Get glue everywhere in the process. And because that is, and I'm going to put that under something heavy so that it can dry, but because that is done the way it is, we don't need acetate, and that fabric isn't going to interfere with anything sliding down into the pocket. But if you are worried about that, you can always put a clear piece of acetate just over the back here, the same size as this frame. But that shouldn't interfere at all. So I'm just going to clean up my glue bits that I've got around the outside edge and pop it under something heavy to dry. Okay, note to self, before you glue the fabric in there, do your eyelets. I have had to go through the whole lot now, because obviously I'd already glued it onto the brown. So do it before you glue it onto this brown backing. And where are we going to put it in our journal? I was thinking, and I have scanned this front and back, because I thought that's a really cute little spot for writing. So let's have a look. Yeah, I think that'll look quite cute on there. So then we just glue like we would normal pockets. Bring that down a little bit so that I've got room to put things in the pockets up the top. Good plan, Sara-Lee. So this little overlap here, it will get caught by just gluing this on. And they don't need to overlap much at all. Just make sure that that lines up. This one I will take right down to the bottom of the page. There we go. So I'm just going to let that dry, and I'll come back and decide whether we want any little labels or anything on there. Well, I have a little dilemma. I like the way that looks. Then we're going to have things in the pockets as well. I don't suppose that matters. At least when there's nothing in the pockets, it'll look alright. I'm just going to go for it. So just use the stamps and things that you've got. These are just little printables, and I've definitely included some of these in the pack already, or if you've got the mega bundle you've got all of them. So there we go. If you haven't got anything in them, they look nice just like that. And if you have got something in them, it will cover some of that, but I think that'll be fine. So there you go. There's your little page make for this week. And I hope you enjoyed making it with me. I think it'll be a cute little addition to our journal. And because this is our new signature, so now I have included, you can just either use one of these backgrounds. I've put those in there, the backgrounds, because I obviously can't reproduce this embossed wallpaper, which I've thrown into my journal. But I think that's a cute little page. So there we go. Until next time, I will see you then. Mā te wā.